Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My beautiful moments. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
The 255th verse of Surah Baqarah is known as Ayatul Kursi. It is one of those verses that are memorized by almost all Muslims around the world because of its virtues. It is profound in meaning and has many benefits, some of which include 1. It is a protection against shaitan. Narrated Abu Huraira, Allah's apostle ordered me to guard the zakat revenue of Ramadan. Then somebody came to me and started stealing of the foodstuff. I caught him and said, I will take you to Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then Abu Huraira described the whole narration and said, that person said to me, please don't take me to Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I will tell you a few words by which Allah will benefit you. When you go to your bed, recite Ayatul Kursi, for then there will be a guard from Allah who will protect you all night long, and shaitan will not be able to come near you till dawn. When the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam heard the story, he said to me, he who came to you at night told you the truth, although he is a liar, and it was shaitan. It is the greatest ayah in Allah's book. Everything has its splendor, and the splendor of the Quran is Surah Al-Baqarah. In it is a verse which is the greatest verse of the Quran, Ayatul Kursi. The Prophet SAW used to recite it after every salah. The Quran has two aspects, its message and its miracle. The same is true for Ayatul Kursi. The message of Ayatul Kursi.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahu la ilaha illa huwal hayyul qayyum. لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض ما ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم.
Allah, there is no deity except Him, the ever-living, the sustainer of all existence. Neither drowsiness overtakes Him nor sleep. To Him belongs whatever is in the heavens and whatever is on the earth. Who is it that can intercede with Him except by His permission? He knows what is, presently, before them and what will be after them, and they encompass not a thing of His knowledge except for what He wills. His kursi extends over the heavens and the earth, and their preservation tires Him not. And He is the Most High, the Most Great. What are benefits of Ayatul Kursi? It is the greatest verse of the Quran that shows the virtues of Ayatul Kursi with several benefits, making it an essential part of Muslims' lives. You must read Ayatul Kursi for anxiety, fear, and spiritual strength. Let's take a look at the benefits of reading Ayatul Kursi after every prayer. A way to enter paradise. Abu Umama Raziyallahu Anhu narrated that the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever recites Ayatul Kursi after each obligatory prayer, there will be nothing standing between him and his entering paradise except death. It emphasizes the significance of reciting Ayatul Kursi after prayers to receive several rewards. You can also recite the last two ayat of Surah Baqarah. Secondly, Ayatul Kursi must be recited after Fajr Salah and after Maghrib or Asr Salah. The reciting at that time acts as a protection against the haram in Islam. That's why Muslims recite Ayatul Kursi before sleeping. The Holy Prophet stated, whoever says this when he rises in the morning will be protected from devils until he retires in the evening, and whoever says it when retiring in the evening will be protected from them until he rises in the morning. You can make Ayatul Kursi a necessary part of your daily routine with dua for Quran Khatam that enhances your spiritual connection while ensuring your protection throughout night and day. It also highlights the benefits of Ayatul Kursi in every Muslim's life. Ayatul Kursi has become a powerful verse that offers protection, heals from harm, and serves as an entry point to paradise. Muslims can consider daily recitation of this effective verse in their supplications and prayers to reap the benefits of Ayatul Kursi in this world and the hereafter. A charity of just 50 rupees, and a man's entire life changed in a moment. You might be wondering, we also give 50 rupees, so what was different this time? What was so special about his 50 rupees? And what huge mercy did Allah hide inside that tiny act of kindness? Let us see how those 50 rupees turned into a miracle. Sometimes Allah removes a disaster so big through a small act of charity that we cannot even imagine it, and sometimes the thing we ignore or consider too small becomes the very thing that saves our life. Today's story is exactly like that, a story that will touch your heart and make you understand the real power of sadaqah. In a simple neighborhood of Karachi lived Mohsin, a quiet 32-year-old man with his wife Hina and their little daughter Liba. Mohsin's life was simple: office, home, and the sound of his daughter's laughter. But one day everything changed. Mohsin first felt only slight fatigue. Then it became routine. He returned from work breathless, and lying down caused chest burning and sharp pain. Hina insisted, "Mohsin, please see a doctor." But he always smiled it away, saying it is just stress, nothing serious. Until one evening, the moment they would never forget, while having tea, Mohsin suddenly felt dizzy. The cup slipped from his hand, and he collapsed to the floor. When he opened his eyes, he was lying on a hospital bed. The doctor stood with a serious expression and said, "Your tests are concerning. We suspect a heart dysfunction. We will know more when the reports arrive tomorrow. Please be prepared." Those words echoed painfully in Mohsin's ears. Little Liba stood quietly by the bed, confused and scared. Mohsin's heart broke as he thought, "Ya Allah, what will happen to my daughter?" He could not sleep that entire night. The next morning Mohsin was discharged. On the way home, the rickshaw driver said, "Sir, can you pay a little extra? My daughter is sick. I am struggling for her medicine." Mohsin checked his pocket. He had only 50 rupees left. He needed that money for his test reports, but something inside his heart softened. Without thinking, he gave the 50 rupees to the driver's sick daughter and decided to walk home. "Allah will make a way," he whispered. The next morning the hospital called, saying, "Your report has arrived. Please come urgently." Mohsin and Hina rushed there trembling. The receptionist handed him a brown envelope and said, "The doctor is not here." He said, "The report looks abnormal. He will explain later." Hina turned pale, and Mohsin felt his throat tighten. Anyone else would have opened the envelope, but his hands were shaking. He held the envelope, but did not open it. He saw the old saintly beggar near the master. The man asked, "Son, can you give something?" Mohsin had nothing except the envelope. In fear, he handed it to the old man, saying, "Please read it for me. I am scared." The old man opened it and studied it carefully. His face first showed surprise, then a soft smile. He said, "Son, this report does not belong to you." Mohsin froze, saying, "What? Of course, it is mine." The old man explained, "The name is Mohsin, yes, but the father's name, age, and ID belong to someone else." Just then a nurse rushed out, saying, "Sir, we made a huge mistake. Another patient's report was placed in your envelope yesterday. Your real report is here. Please come inside." Mohsin and Hina ran in. The doctor opened the real report and said, "Mr. Mohsin, you are perfectly fine. There is no heart issue. You are only suffering from stress and severe acidity." Hina burst into tears, and Mohsin's eyes filled. He whispered, "Ya Allah, was this because of that 50 rupee charity?" The doctor added, "You are very lucky. The other patient, the one whose report you got, has only a few days left." Mohsin felt a chill run through him. If he had opened that wrong report, the fear alone could have damaged his real heart, but Allah did not let him even see it. He was told the truth only when his heart could bear it. That night Mohsin prayed with tears, saying, "Ya Allah, I gave only 50 rupees. I never imagined you would remove such a huge disaster from my life." When he reached home later, the rickshaw driver was standing at his door. He said, "Sir, Allah accepted your charity. My daughter is much better now." The doctor himself was shocked. Today Mohsin's eyes filled again. Sometimes the smallest charity protects us from the biggest calamities. Allah pours mercy upon those who show mercy to His creation. A little kindness can rewrite an entire destiny.